guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Buddy Guru channel. Today I'm doing a deck profile on my Death Tallica deck. Haven't seen anyone using a Death Tallica at all, actually. I've never fought anyone using a Death Tallica, so that's why I built my own Death Tallica. So yeah, let's get on with the video. First up, 4 copies of the Black Dragon of Demise Death Tallica. Sorry. It's call cost, pay 4 gauge and put all deep from your drop zone. Then put all deep from your drop zone into his soul, which means you can use his gauge, the gauge you paid with him, to put into the soul. Then when he's attacked or when he would leave the field, send back 3 cards from the soul to the bottom of the deck to nullify the attack or prevent him from leaving the field. And you cannot get soul guard. It's a very, I guess I could say it's a very old card from BT05 in fact. I managed to get 4 of these and an SP, but his skill is still really powerful. Even though he may be okay, that's it for the. Even though he may be very strong, okay, let's say he's okay. Last time he's probably the complete Black Dragon, but you know, everything with an evolution, just like Yamigeto. People tell us, oh, Yamigeto is the, I guess the final form, but he evolved into the ultimate form, Hyakugan, which is this card. We run 1 copy of Emissary of Ruin, Megiddo Death Tallica. You pay 2 gauge and put the top 3 cards of your deck into his soul. And then you call him on top of a size 3 deep monster. When it's attacked or will leave the field, you may send 2 cards from his soul into the bottom of the deck in order to nullify the attack or prevent him from leaving the field instead of 3 cards, which is really good because he also has an increased buffs, 12 to 4 increased buffs from the 10 to 3, and when you call on top, he's already gonna have a lot of soul, which means you guarantee another survival. You guarantee 1 more wall of defense when you call him out, which is really strong. The only reason we run 1 because there's not really a point to run 2 or 4. He's just, you can probably survive and win the game with Death Tallica on its own, but with this Death Tallica, it just gives you, you could say, gives you more hope, more luck, easier chance to win the game. But with Death Tallica, the chances are already quite high. If your opponent is not using a brush deck, he's using a deck like Nanase, I'm guessing you could beat Nanase if you run your cards right. There is a slight chance you could beat Nanase. Of course, even though he pops some monsters. Next up, size 2s, 4 copies of Extreme Prism, Zinger, 6/6 stats. Enters the field, mill 2 cards from the deck into your drop zone. Run him to mill cards into your drop zone, of course, to field for Death Tallica's soul. Next up, 4 copies of the Dara Barak for deep, Death Tallica Servant. When it's pushed off the field, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 deep monster from among them into your hand, and the rest goes to the drop zone. Then you may call the deep from your hand by paying its call cost. Great card, allows you to search into your deeps, and all the monsters in this deck we run are actually deeps, so it's great because anything we need, we can just search for it, and then we can fetch it into our hand, which is why I run it for. And it's also a great substitute to Dara Barak. As you know, Dara Barak's prices can go absurdly high, and with this card, this rare, it just makes it so much more easier for deep. It may be a pain that you cannot search up any card, looking at the top 3 you cannot add any card, but at least you can still fetch it into your deeps. So I guess that's the reason I decided to ride it at 4 and not 2 or 3. Next up, 2 copies of Death Tallica hand. You can call him up from the soul of a deep, and after your attack, you can put it into the soul of a deep. You can combo him together with a set spell I run in this deck, Execution Ground. You put it into Death Tallica soul, charge and draw, and it also gives you a +1 soul, which is great in this deck because you really need the protection. This card is the last resort you want to clear with Death Tallica, honestly, because looking at this, you want to mill hard and try not to send him to the bottom of your deck. But if there's worst case scenario, you have to. So I guess that's the reason why I run it at 2, and also because it's very easy to draw into him. As long as he goes to the soul, you can auto call him out, which is great. And I run 2 because left and right only, and Death Tallica only has 2 hands. So yeah, I guess so. I guess that's why I run it at 2. Next up, 2 copies of Underhanded means like Decidal. When it's put from the field or drop zone into the soul of a deep on the field, deep monster, into the soul of a deep, you recover a life. Commonly seen running in Black Knights, but you can run it with Death Tallica too, no problem. Next up, you're gonna be a bit slightly, I guess, shocked, or I guess surprised with Dazzle. It's a nice word, but I can't really use it in this scenario. 3 copies of Death Tallica Zigalia, you see, proxies, because I cannot afford to get the Zigalia, or I cannot find Zigalia anywhere. Put 1 or more deep from your field into his soul and pay 3 gauge. During your turn, put 4 deep from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck if you do restand him. He's basically what could you say? He's basically a substitute for an impact because he's a final turn. Swinger. So after you swing with him, you can do it multiple times. Most of the cards in this deck are deep attributes. Are deep attributed, so you can non-stop swing at your opponent. Highest, if I'm not wrong, is 8 times. High, if I'm not wrong. You can go and play this out yourself and play test how powerful this deck actually is. This card makes it so easy to run down your opponents. When you know your opponent's card guard, if you're facing a noob, mill hard enough, and then you can keep restanding him. Just sending 20 cards back to your deck allows you to attack 5 times with him, which is crazy strong. 20 times allowing you to deal 10 damage. That is really potent. Next up, 2 copies of Cursed Demon Idol. Pay 1 gauge, equip cost, can attack even from monster center. Souls of a deep monster center cannot be put into your drop zone. Very good counter against Loki. Loki removes soul, and with him, you can protect your center soul, which is really important. When the soul is gone, you're screwed. Just warning you right there, you're screwed. Then that's it for the monster center items. We go on to the spells. 2 copies of Sunken Seabed Ruins. When a side tree enters the field, pay 1 life and set, but no point in using that first ability. We usually just set him straight away. If you have to go to the extent where you need gauge, you're probably screwed. You can just say GG. This deck, it's really hard to run out gauge in this deck, even though it may seem very gauge heavy with the 4 gauge. It's really hard to run out gauge when you play the cards right. You just when a monster on field attacks, charge the gauge. Next up, 2 copies of Black Crest Volcano. Black Crest Volcano, the only reason I run it is because Death Tallica is a black dragon, and usually he survives at the end of the turn. So when he survives, you get to charge draw and gain a life. Powerful card. Then, to go along with that, I'm gonna for the gauge, 2 copies of Death Gauge Timer. Death Gauge Timer is red. I run Death Gauge Timer because of this card, Death Tallica Zigalia. You can send Death Gauge Timer into your soul, and all the soul from Death Gauge Timer is put into the drop zone, which is really powerful combo for Zigalia, which means an auto restand, most likely an auto guaranteed restand for Zigalia, or if not, you can just use it for the gauge. And also, you can use Death Gauge Timer to trigger Execution Bell's ability. When a soul goes into a black dragon, charge and draw, and when a black dragon set on your face is destroyed, you deal 4 damage to your opponent. It's powerful, crazy powerful. Also, if you want to be a genius and run Black Dragon Remade, when your opponent targets that for destruction, that card is destroyed, but it's remaining on the field. So you deal 4 damage to your opponent anyway, and it's really painful for your opponent. If I'm not wrong, Black Dragon Remade is on Black Dragons, not just monsters. If I'm wrong, that's that. But yeah, that's one way to stop your opponent, to hurt your opponent without doing much, I guess. Also, I would just like to thank Lionel for thinking my jokes are horrible, because honestly, they are. So anyway, let's continue on. 2 copies of Midnight Shadow. Nullified attack, it's not a link attack, and can only cast during an attack on opponent's turn. Then, on with 3 copies of Rebel's Armor. Rebel's Armor, you can put him into the soul of a deep monster. The deep with the soul gets power plus 1000, defense plus 1000, and penetrate. Then, its ability of this card and that card cannot be nullified by your opponent's card effects, which means, no, actually, no, yeah, it cannot. Oh yeah, it can activate. You can still activate Death Tallica skill even if your opponent uses Miseria, overturn Miseria. Plus, when there's 1 in the soul, gets a defense plus 1000 and a power plus 1000 boost. Who wouldn't like that? Am I right? Next up, 4 copies of this Symphony. Run 4 because it's a deep. Okay, only cast if you're 6 or less. Pay on gauge, draw 2. It's a really, really old card. If I'm not wrong, this is even from BT04. Yup, that's how old Abyss Symphony is. And even though they got the reprints, it's still not gonna have the same, I don't know what you call it, aesthetic, I guess. In a sense, similar to the old cards. 2 copies of Banquet for the Unrighteous. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Can only cast it once per turn. Look at the top 3 cards from your deck. Add 1 monster from among them to your hand and send the rest to the drop. Or you can put a card from your drop zone face down into the soul of a monster on the field. Great. Both abilities are great. Allows you to add any monster. Or if you're unlucky, you can add any monster. If you're luckier, you can send a card from your drop zone into the soul of a monster, so that Death Tallica can hopefully survive. Have 1 more wall of protection too, for defense. Also, if you're wondering why I run 2 Midnight Shadow, it's because Death Tallica is a niche shield itself, obviously. So, okay, enough said. 3 copies of Chaotic Pain. Pay your life, mill 3 cards from your deck, and charge 3 gauge. From the X Dual Chest, I managed to get 3. Thanks, Kaiser. Yeah, next up, I guess it's Inspiration. 3 copies of Excellent. Mill 5 cards from the top of your deck into your drop zone, and then you charge 1 gauge. There's a difference between him and Chaotic Pain. Chaotic Pain is mainly focused on the 3 gauge, because you get to charge 3, and you get to mill 3. So this card is basically, it's supposed to help you with your gauge, and they run it in Chaos because you get to mill cards and call out with Gear God. So that's one reason why. But XLN is more on the milling side because you mill 5. You freaking mill 5 from your deck. It's like a Death Napalm that allows you to gain gauge and mill more cards. It's a really strong card for Death Tallica specifically because of its stats. And last but not least, 3 copies of Black Ritual. Pop a Black Dragon monster on the field, Black Dragon on the field, sorry. Charge 1 gauge, gain 1 life, and draw 2 cards. A lot of draw power with this card alone, and I'm pretty sure it's broken as hell. It's not as broken as Bonus Quest. Bonus Quest is freaking broken. You get a charge 2, draw 2, gain 1 life. What the hell? But at least Darkness Dragon World got the draw power it needed. Black Ritual. Really strong card. We don't usually combo it with Death Tallica, but we use it on cards like Zwinger, the Golden Double Rare Zwinger, or we can use the Black Ritual to combo with Death Tallica Servant to allow you to charge draw 2 and gain 1 life. Then you can add another card to your hand. That's a +3 with 2 cards alone. It's crazy powerful. And with that, that brings us to the end of my deck profile. I hope you enjoy it. Please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel to see more weird and funky decks like this Death Tallica deck. So even if the deck profile is over, I'm gonna show you I guess 1 combo I like to run. So okay, let's have 2 combos. So first of all, the first combo is calling Death Tallica out with his Massive Soul. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Yeah, it's probably about this much. Really, I'm not joking. This is probably the amount of soul he gets. Send back 3, make him survive, at this point, you don't really need much explanation. It's a hardcore defense deck, probably where Adora got his inspiration from. But I guess I don't really think I need to show how to run this deck. It's actually really easy. You just try to get out. You try to pull Rebel's Armor, the hand, of course Death Tallica, or if worst case scenario Death Tallica Servant, and Execution Ground. Yeah, Execution Ground is a must. You must have it in your hand. Okay, it's not a must, but it's really great. And Black Ritual. I really pull Black Ritual. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's it for my Death Tallica deck. I hope you enjoyed it. For the second time, me saying it today. Maybe you would like to leave in the comments what deck I should make next. Probably the next deck I'm probably gonna make is a budget deck again because I'm poor. Yeah, apparently I can't work yet. It's sad. I really need the income. So if your name is Lionel, please feel free to sponsor me with anything you need. Especially the things in your X-Duo chest box. I think that would be a great idea. And maybe you would like to give me your Black Knight deck. I'm pretty sure it isn't worth much. So yeah, I guess I can get this. I'll see you next time. Next week, most probably. Okay, I'm gonna see you next week with a new deck that Lionel gave me. Okay, and that's it for my deck profile. Bye guys.